can I use the same resin for all of my resin projects? That is the question that I get asked most often, and honestly the answer is no, you cannot. There are many different types of epoxy resin, and I am going to share with you some of my absolute favourites. All of these resins that I have here are completely different types of resin, and they work better for different projects, so I'm going to share with you how I personally prefer to use these. Okay, firstly I'm going to share with you my absolute favourite resin from Apex. This is their newest launch, and it is the Apex Cure Pro. This is an absolute game changer. This stuff is like no other I've ever tried. What I love about the Cure Pro is it's so versatile. Like, I can use it on wine glasses because it is certified food safe if you give a clear top coat, which is what I've done on here. Also, need I mention that shine? Like, look at that, it's absolutely flawless. I use it on tumblers, again, beautiful finish. This one still needs one coat to cover the foil, but you can see already how beautiful this resin is. I can also use Cure Pro for coasters. These still need neatening up, so just ignore that, but look at that shine. There's no surface imperfections, and there's also no signs of armine blush despite the crazy weather we've been having here, because Cure Pro is way less sensitive to temperature changes in your craft room. So if you don't have a setup where your room is temperature controlled all the time and it might get a little bit colder during the night, you are not going to get the surface imperfections using this like you would with other epoxies. One of my other most used resins is the deep cast resin, because I do a lot of flower preservation like this block here, and as you can see this is a much deeper piece of work, and the deep cast allows you to pour deeper layers each time to basically speed up your turnaround process. So for all, I still would not fill up the mould all in one go. It makes it literally twice as fast than if I was using Cure Pro, which you still can use, but expect to do 6 to 8 layers of this, where deeper you would be looking at like 3. It's a lot thinner in consistency. You do have a longer working time with it, which is ideal, and when you mix it, it's like there's no bubbles, none at all to get rid of. It's amazing. I absolutely love this stuff. This is the Quantum Fast Set Epoxy. Again, completely different features, different way of working with this. This is a much thicker epoxy, and I personally love to use this for adding detail to work. So for example, this big heart block, I just wanted to add and build up some layers in the sand, but I didn't want to have to wait like a full day between each layer to continue this piece, or I would be here forever. So this fast set, which cures in 1 to 2 hours, has enabled me to do both of those sand layers with this detail in like 4 hours. So the Quantum is, this one's the regular set, and this one is brilliant. Honestly, it's my favourite for using on glassware such as vases, and I also use this on things like the wine glasses. The finish on this is absolutely beautiful on glass. Look at that shine, and this is thicker than the Cure Pro, so you could use Cure Pro for this as well and you'll get the same beautiful shine, but because this one is a little bit thicker than the Cure Pro in the consistency, it holds your patterns better if you are doing designs like this. Okay, last but not least, there's also UV epoxy, and I get a lot of questions about how to use this. People say, can I use this for tumblers because I can set them straight away? Can you use this in coasters? Personally, I say no. I do not choose to use UV resin for projects like that. I use it more like a glue. I use it to hold things in place. I use it to work on finer projects like jewellery. This is great for like holding the backs down on earrings and things like that. It comes in much smaller sizes than your other typical resins, because you typically use this in lower volumes each time. Okay, so that was like a super quick roundup of some of my favourite features of each of these resins, but I'm sure I haven't covered everything. So if you have any questions or you want any advice, please feel free to leave a comment, and I will be more than happy to help advise and guide you as best I can.